If you've ever been in a situation where you're speaking to somebody, maybe you're meeting somebody for the first time and you're not sure what to say next because you're overthinking what to say. It could be a networking event. It could be meeting somebody for the first time or even at work during a meeting. If you resonate with that, then pay close attention. I'm Shaka from Mind's Eye Status. I'm an executive communication coach, and I'm going to explain exactly how to get out of overthinking and get to a point where you are grounded in your communication. You can articulate your thoughts effortlessly, confidently, and as naturally as possible. That's what we're going to do today. So stick around, sit back. I hope you have your notebook ready. As always, I do, with some nuggets for you guys. So let's dive right in. Overthinking what to say and running out of things to say always stems from this itself, which is part of the problem. It's part of the question. The overthinking is what causes you to run out of things to say. I always preach the power of presence in social interactions. You guys are now becoming grounded communicators. That's why you're subscribed to this channel, because day by day, week by week, with these nuggets that I share with you, you are becoming a grounded communicator. A grounded communicator does not overthink. That's the first thing that we need to step into. My previous videos talk about how to be present, so I won't go over it too much in this video, but realize that this is the problem. It's you being stuck in your head rather than being grounded and present to the moment. So how do we actually counteract that and speak spontaneously, off the cuff, naturally and charismatically? People follow energy, not words. Most people have it twisted. Most people who come to me for a communication consultation say to me, Shako, I want to know how to say the right words. I want to make sure that what I say is ideal and perfect so I can get my message across. You have it twisted. You have it the other way around. Because people don't follow your words. People follow your energy. You know what your energy is, by the way? I spoke about this in one of my previous videos. Energy is your emotional state. That's your energy. And that includes things like charisma and magnetism. Have you ever been in a situation, maybe socially or at work, where somebody in the group got more recognition than they probably deserve? This happens all the time. Because unfortunately, this is just a reality, by the way. This is a harsh truth which you should write down. Speaking of articulation. People follow energy, not words. You can be the most knowledgeable one in the room. You could have the perfect things that you want to say and share. Yet, if you don't have the energy and charisma to share it, people are going to turn their attention to the person that does have that energy, even if they're less experienced. One common misconception is if you want to, let's connect this with an example. If you want to create a social circle with high net worth individuals, with successful entrepreneurs, let's say, but you're broke. People think that they need to make money in order to become friends with these entrepreneurs, with these millionaires. That is simply not the case. If that was the case, you would never see unattractive men dating attractive women. The reason why unattractive men can date attractive women is because their energy is more important. Even if they don't have the looks, their energy is attractive. You can meet somebody who is ultra wealthy at a high frequency, and they're not looking at your things. Some might, the wrong people might. What they're looking at is your energy. This is how I personally went from growing up in an immigrant family to becoming friends, before I started to make money, by the way, becoming friends with ultra successful individuals, millionaires. It's because I knew the power of social dynamics, which is what you're learning here. Do you think you can afford to be overthinking if you want to get promoted in your job? Do you think you can afford to overthink if you want to achieve a high level of success? You can't. You can't afford to overthink what to say. Overthinking what to say, let me give you a harsh truth. I dropped my pen. Let me give you a harsh truth, okay? Some of you may not be ready for this, but based on the comments in my last videos, most of you will be actually. All right. Here's the harsh truth. What is it? It left me as the pen left me. Ah, I remember. See, the power of pausing. Don't rush, which is something we're going to talk about today. This is the scale of problems. A high quality problem, let's put it up here, is choosing who to spend time with. You see why that's a high quality problem? Because you're in abundance. And your biggest problem is, who should I spend my time with? All these people asking me out for coffee, they want to grab lunch, and I'm not sure who to choose. That's a high quality problem, okay? Or maybe at work, too many people are seeking your attention. That's another high quality problem, which can be solved, by the way, with things like delegation. A low quality problem is overthinking what to say. So I am here to destroy that paradigm that you might be living in. I'm not going to accept this, nor should you. If you ever find yourself wondering or thinking back to a social event, I could have said this, I could have said that, what should I say next time? That's a low quality problem. Low quality problem means low quality frequency. To get to this level of becoming a grounded communicator, you need to be present. You need to be present. Okay? I have a couple of steps for you to overcome this. So now we're going to get into the very, very practical side of things. And by the way, if you guys want one-to-one support with this, with a coach, with myself perhaps, you can book a free 10-minute communication audit where we'll break down your communication skills live and see if we can work together. You can book that in the link in the description. So, first, speak slower than your brain thinks. A big mistake that people make in their communication, which actually makes them overthink even more, is speaking too fast. If you can resonate with that, leave a comment. So what I want you to do instead is start speaking slower than your brain thinks. It's actually very interesting if you experiment with this. For example, I had an idea that I wanted to share with you guys. I dropped my pen, and when I got up, rather than stopping the video, I just took a breath, took a moment to pause, slowed down, my physiology slowed down, my heart rate slows down, and your brain becomes clearer. I'm not putting pressure on myself. That's another mistake. Stop putting pressure on yourself. You don't deserve to put pressure on yourself. You deserve to treat yourself with love and with acceptance. And the beautiful thing about giving yourself acceptance is it waters the soil for self-esteem. That's what real self-esteem is. Real self-esteem is self-acceptance, self-awareness, and self-responsibility, which is what you're practicing right now by watching this video, by the way. Self-responsibility and self-awareness. At least you're definitely doing these two things. Are you accepting yourself? I don't know. Accepting yourself means allowing yourself to feel certain emotions, allowing yourself space to think, breathe, have a moment. By the way, I'll put a free resource on developing self-esteem in the description as well, so you can download that for free. Speak slower than your brain thinks, and you can practice this, by the way. In fact, what you can do now, or perhaps after this video, is whip out your phone, open WhatsApp, send a friend a video message just saying, "Hey Jimmy, I've been thinking about you. Hope you're well. How's the wife? How are the kids? How's that project you're working on? Just an update on my side. We're doing great. I'm doing this and that." And speak a little bit slower than you normally do. Just try that. Low pressure. Send it to a friend. Send it to your mom, for God's sake. I don't care who you send it to. Just put it out there. Start practicing. Okay? And be very aware that you're not speaking too fast, because I've spoken about this many times. It lowers your status. Actually, no, last time I was talking about body language. I have a video about how to gain respect with your aura. I think that's the last one that I uploaded, so you can check that out. But speaking too fast lowers your social status, because it's a sign that you are seeking validation, because you don't believe people will listen to your words. So you need to rush the words out there before somebody interrupts you, and otherwise somebody's not gonna listen to you. And blah, 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 blah. You can't even formulate a sentence together when you're overthinking and trying to rush your words. So slow down, all right? As I said before, I'm constantly writing these lessons in my notebook, and it helps me remember them and embody them. So I suggest you do the same, especially when you watch these videos. All right, great. Next one. These are some free lessons for you guys. So if you're enjoying this, leave a like and a subscribe and a comment as well. Sit with silence after you speak. Now, you might be wondering, what has this got to do with overthinking and worrying about what to say next? Again, you have it twisted. I'm going to break your paradigm about wondering what you need to say, because you don't need to prove yourself to anybody. Get comfortable with the silence. Get comfortable being yourself. One thing that I personally can't stand, I tell my wife about this all the time, is if I catch up with somebody or if I meet somebody for the first time and there's a moment of silence and immediately they jump in and they say, "So anyway, how about this restaurant, huh? Or how about this city? So how long have you done this?" If they're genuine questions, fair enough. That's nice. But if I can tell that they're just trying to fill the void, the silence, that becomes exhausting, especially to an introvert like me. Don't be that person. Sitting with silence elevates your status. It signals, what do you think it signals? Confidence. And, very important, comfort. You don't need to be the loudest one in the room to be confident. That's a myth. It's a lie. Okay, so sit with silence, get comfortable with it, and avoid filler words. Now, I'm going to share with you next exactly what you need to do in order to engage people when you do speak up. So when you do speak up, this is how you should do it. Speak with emotional... What are you eating there, babe? Certainty. I hear her crunching in the background. She's eating a capsicum. Speak with emotional certainty, not only technical facts. Of course, you want to be accurate in what you're saying, be precise, but your emotional certainty is far more important. If I said to you guys, it's very important to have great body language because it improves how people perceive you. And now I'm going to say some other things about communication. That has a very different effect compared to the most crucial aspect of your communication is how you carry yourself. It's in your body language because people feel something. Those two ways of communicating have completely different effects, different effects on how it's received. Now, see that I just stumbled over my words, and what did I do? I laughed at it because I don't take myself seriously. I don't succumb to these low quality problems, low quality challenges of overthinking. Another low quality problem, by the way, is taking yourself too seriously. This is live training too seriously. By the way, I constantly give feedback to clients live on Zoom when they are taking themselves too seriously or when they make a mistake. So if you want to be part of that type of coaching, book a call in the description below and we'll have a chat. Speak with emotional certainty, and you could also say conviction. When you have conviction in what you're saying, people will remember it. It will have influence on how other people feel. It's not in what you say, it's in how you say it. You guys have probably heard that before, but remember that. Write it down multiple times. It's not in what you say, it's in how you say it. It's not in the technical facts. Do you know how many clients I've worked with who are very knowledgeable and competent? They have the hard skills, but when it comes to the soft skills, they get overlooked. It doesn't matter how intelligent you are. It doesn't matter how much experience you have. If you can't articulate it and leave an impact with your communication, good luck. You're going to have a very mediocre career and life. The way to stand out is by putting a bit of emotion into your communication and getting out of your head, being present. Have you noticed that what I'm sharing with you is more what to avoid? Because overthinking is doing too much. What I'm encouraging you to do is do less. Less is more in communication. Let's say you're the quiet one in the group. You don't speak that much. Sometimes I'm like that. But when you do speak up, your words have impact. Now you're really talking. Now you're really making an impact. Understand? That means you have substance. At the end of the day, your mind will play games with you. Your mind will overthink and it'll give you low quality problems. But do not forget, you are a grounded communicator. Otherwise, you would not be here. Grounded communicator. This is how to stop overthinking. Okay? As I said, first, speak slower than your brain. Second, get comfortable with that silence. And third, use that emotional capacity that you have in your communication to really make an impact. I'm going to be dropping 2 YouTube videos per week, so make sure you subscribe. We went from 1 to 2 because you guys are amazing and I appreciate your comments so much before this channel really blows up. You guys are the OGs. If there's anything that you want to see more content about, the comment with the highest votes, I will make a video. That's a promise. This was Shaka from Mind's Eye Status. See you next week. Actually, see you in a couple of days.